Good. I see we got a bunch of people here. Dan Brown, starting the year off with our first webinar. If you've been with us since the beginning, been a long but fun road. Thank you for all of that. Got some really interesting stuff to cover with you. So I hope you are ready. I'd like to see evidence that you're ready. Let's see those coffee cups in hand. Okay. Some of you. Okay. Good. Excellent. I am going to take a second to just introduce a couple key people that you need to know. And while we have him, we've got Devon Mortimer, who heads up the digital reactivation team. Many of you use a digital reactivation service and have for some time. I'm going to put a face to that name and a face to that service. Devon, putting you on the spot. Didn't tell you I was going to do this, but just introduce yourself. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. Devon from Blumberg Digital Reactivation Department. I'm the one that heads everything up. I have a whole team, but I've really worked since I started here a couple of years ago, to kind of rebuilt everything from the ground up, and the results have just been out the roof since. And so I'm the terminal if anybody needs anything. Your success is my priority.
Awesome. Give Devon a hand. I mean, he truly does knock it out of the park. Just go ahead and state it in the chat. If you've used this digital reactivation service, we had, a couple more brand new clients who, let's see, I'll pony up for the $2,000 I got to spend on it. And they brought in excess of $30,000 in their first month. So Devon, well done to you and the team. Keep that up. For those of you that don't know what the digital reactivation service is, that's a service that gives a series of emphatic nudges to the patients that have fallen off the wagon. They don't come in for their routine hygiene. So we got to get them. It's called reactivation for a reason. Get them back in the office. Want to make sure that they are healthy. People with healthy teeth and gums, they live longer. People with healthy teeth and gums have a higher quality of life. I can tell you this right now. It's our number one priority to keep our patients healthy. But sometimes, as you all know, it's not their number one priority. Their number one priority is their vacation coming up, their anniversary. And these are all important things too, but we got to make sure that they are healthy. So Devon and his team have done a fantastic job. Devon's going to be with us for part of the day. He's then going to go attend to clients as he would and should. And maybe we'll see him again. So thank you, Devon. Now, I'm going to ask you all a very pointed question. You came here to get marketing strategies for 2025. I want you to put in the chat right now, no reservation, no hesitation. Why are you here? What are you hoping to improve? Why did you come today? See what new trends are we could use, ways to get more bodies in the shop. What Amy Evelyn just said, bodies in the shop. I want everybody to say it with me. Bodies in the shop. We're going to do it again. Bodies in the shop. Feel ridiculous. Bodies in the shop.
Bodies in the shop.
Just like that. What we're talking about is patients in for whatever, whenever, however. So very, very important. Now, Amy is referring to something she learned at the very last executive seminar of her Power program. And it comes from an article by Mr. Hubbard called the, quote, magic of good management, of which there is no magic, but there is exact skill and technical points to put in. And of those last 6 points, bodies in the shop sits as one of the most important. You got to make sure you got lots of people coming in for whatever, hence, whatever you need to do to get people in, back in, newly in, etc. Excellent. See marketing for the new patients and more ideas. Good, Melissa. Here to learn how to get people excited to come in to get their treatments, how to find target audience, people who can afford it and are interested. How can we best explain the importance of those procedures? Oh, I love all of that, Sarah. Okay, good. Biswa, Dr. Nayak, great. New startup. Need more quality patients, need marketing strategy, and you need them now. You actually needed them yesterday, didn't you? Need that stat to go into affluence. Yes, Maria. Hear you. Have a better marketing strategy. Good, David. Grow our startup office. Thank you, Danielle. Good. New patients where insurance is not top priority, willing to pay for treatment. Exactly. Absolutely vital. First order of business. First of all, I just got to say this to everybody I haven't said this to thus far. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Welcome to the Blumberg Digital webinar, first one of the year. My name is Dan Brown. I am co-owner and Chief Operating Officer of Blumberg Digital. You may also know me as the Senior Service Consultant of MGE Management Experts. And we're going to take up, what do we do now? What do we do? We're on the other side of the holidays. Some practices are already seeing amazing explosions in growth. Some are seeing stagnation. There are trends that you're seeing that are usual. There are trends that you are seeing that are unusual, both good and bad. So how do we actually cover that in roughly an hour and a half to make sure that this is valuable to you? Well, I'm going to hit you between the eyes with this one. How many of you are ready to be hit between the eyes? Hands up. You're okay on me being and hitting it straight. What do we call it, Amy Evelyn? Just whisper it to yourself because we can't say it publicly. It's going to be on YouTube, right? You got it. She just did this. And it's called the Dan Brown Certain Slap. It's a type of a slap. So this is going to be a little bit of a slap, but I think it's a good one. I think it's a good one. And it's not a slap. Folks, we're all here in the game together. We're all here getting the job done. We all have an interest. We all go through frustrations. And what I'm going to be doing is I found this thing on Instagram. I just had to take it. Raise your hand if you know who Kevin O'Leary is. Raise your hand if you know who Kevin O'Leary is. Yeah. Multi-millionaire, Shark Tank. You've seen this face. I'll put him on the screen. I find as I get more gray in my beard that I also have a different orientation on life. Raise your hand if you've done that. It's called maturity. Raise your hand if you take a different perspective on life. As you get a little bit older, a little bit wiser, right? Hopefully you get a little bit lighter. You get a little bit less serious. You get a little bit like, okay, a few less surprises, a few less freakouts. That's not everybody. Some of us are like, I'm still in freak out mode. It's getting worse every day. I get it. Okay. But some of you can say, yeah, with age comes, maturity. With business and certainly marketing. I'm gonna just bring this up. Marketing. We've got clients that have said, I'm doing this service and we had a month or two of it being down and I don't know if it's working. Well, what do we generally do? Well, we always look into the account. We lift the hood, we see what we could do. And sometimes before we can turn one thing, make one adjustment, the thing shoots right back up into the same range or a higher range that it was before. Oh, whatever you did, it was amazing. Awesome. Yeah. We didn't touch a thing. Things go up. Things go down. Things go back up. Things go down. You have problems. You resolve the problems. Part of life is persistence. Part of life is going on. Part of life is working through challenges and problems together. Now, if you got a team that doesn't change and they're defensive, and they're, I don't know if this is a teammate, a team player, partner, friend, and everything you try to do to improve or correct, and it's defensive and it's justifying. And okay, that doesn't sound like a real partnership to me. But what do we do at Blumberg Digital? What do we do at MGE? Well, we're kind of partnered with you on your success. MGE is there to make sure you get the training you need to be in control of your practice. Blumberg Digital here is to take 80% of the marketing burden off you. 80%. How much percent does that leave for you? Show me in fingers and tens. How many percent does that leave you? Show me the number of fingers. Yeah, 20%. 20% sits with you. 80% we're going to take that burden because you don't need to be doing designing your own ads and twisting all the knobs. I think at a standard Google Ads campaign that we do, like 250 changes each month. Like, are you kidding me? You don't need to be doing that. But 20% of that success sits with you. And I know many of you would like to just say, just take it all, please. Just take it. Go. I have so much to do. Raise your hand if you feel that way. Raise your hand if you feel that way. And I'm with you if you feel that way. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. So I'm going to play this video, shut my trap. Everybody watch the screen.
The world is only going to end once. And if you're still awake the next morning, there's something good going to happen. Every single day in my life, every single day, I've got over 50 companies that I'm an investor in. I get a phone call in the morning or sometime where it's total catastrophe. They're being sued or something catastrophic has happened. And then an hour later, I get a call from somebody else saying, oh, we just got a takeout offer at 14 times EBITDA. You have to sign off on this. Do you want to sell? And I'm thinking to myself, the only thing you have to do between utter depression and euphoria is simply wait, because it's something else is going to happen. And so I live my life with a new attitude now. I just simply cruise through the day knowing bad stuff's going to happen and great stuff's going to happen, and it happens every single day. And you kind of want to understand that that's the ebb and flow of how it all works. And it takes years to figure that out. I wish I understood that peace and harmony when I was 25. You get better with time because you don't let anything slow you down. In the end, you're dead. That's the only thing that's going to slow me down. And wherever I'm going, I'm going to start a business.
Okay. So thumbs up if you find that helpful. I can't say I agree with every aspect of what he says, but I can say this. It ties in with what you all learned if you attended the ABC seminars, Seminar A, where we talk about spirit of play as opposed to being too serious. Who can put in the chat, what are the 2 words that Mr. Hubbard describes as a recommended approach towards life? And I know they're, one's easier to spell than the other, but who can remember those terms? Or if you can't remember them, open up your microphone. Tell me what those words are. Come on, y'all. Ooh, look at you. Look at you, Gloria Jones. She nailed it. Insouciance and flippancy. Insouciance and flippancy. Insouciance, a light approach towards life, unwillingness to get too serious about anything, the ability to laugh things off in the face of seriousness. How many of you find that that'd be a healthy trait to master? Raise your hand. Feel like that'd be a healthy trait to master. Okay, good. And flippancy, not too dissimilar. Flippancy, a light outlook on life, general unseriousness. Flippancy and insouciance. In your journey, which is, very aggressive. I think we all know our journey is aggressive. So we got to get out there. We got to do it. We got to push against things. Let's take the patient that comes in. They're grouchy. It took basically attaching a toe strap to them to get them in the practice. Now they're complaining about how many times we message them to come in and confirm them and stuff. You are given 92 opportunities per patient to dislike them and turn them away and be unhelpful. And you keep a smile on your face. Why do we do that? Because people with healthy teeth and gums, they live longer. And ultimately that is our game. We want to make people live longer. We want to make people healthier. We want to keep them happy. Yeah, we got a business to run, sure. That's all part of it. But our ability to stay to it and keep in the game and keep a smile on the face is important, not just for them, but I want you all to try it. Try smiling right now. Just try smiling. Just try smiling. Try holding the smile. Just try doing it. Come on, try holding the smile. Okay, now everybody turn your microphones on. Just try this. It's gonna seem corny until it isn't. Everybody turn your microphones on, no exceptions. There we go. Okay, good. Now, we've all just tried smiling. I want to see it again. See the smile again. Good. Now, just give this a shot. Try laughing. Try laughing. Keep laughing. 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 Just try. Just force it. Just force it. Keep laughing. This. Force it. Smile while you're laughing. Keep going. Keep going. I'm not kidding. Keep going. All right. Now, how many of you just feel a little bit better? Just raise your hand. You don't have to raise your hand. Raise your hand if you feel just a little bit better. Just a little bit better. Okay, good. So I'm going to do this with you. Some of you are like this. I'm not doing this. And that's okay too. And man, you might have 100 reasons in the world for that. And I get that.
Right there.
I'm going to tell you this. There you go. Okay, good. So, hey, doctor, it's Superman here. I called on you specifically. Doctor?
Yes.
Dr. Martinson. Yes, Dr. Martinson. Dr. Martinson. Good to see you. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Okay,
I'm good. Dr. Martinson, would you say that you've had a few reasons in the past 5 years to like put a frown on your face? Has that ever happened in the past 5 years?
Oh.
Any reason at all?
No, my.
Okay.
People get mad at me.
Good. Doctor, whenever I see you, you and your team all come smiling. I would imagine that that's the way it is when you're at work. Not all the time, but would you agree? Team, would you agree?
Yep. We have fun.
Okay, good. Yeah. And how important is fun and making sure that you're having fun during the day? How important is that?
Very important. So we don't want to shoot ourselves. Nobody wants what we have to sell. Nobody wants to spend their money, but we have to show them why.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And I'll tell you, it'll make your day go easier. It'll make this path go easier. Some of you have lighter burdens. Some of you have heavier burdens. Some of you have doctor burden, which is an extreme heavy burden. See what I did there, Amy? And no, he's great. I'm just having fun. But I'm telling you, we all have burdens, but it's almost more important that in the moment of seriousness that you make sure that you find something that you can be light about and you can approach that, because I can tell you 5 years from now, you're not going to remember. You're not going to look back and remember the rough days. And you might feel embarrassed about how serious you took things and maybe chewing somebody out or getting upset at yourself or feeling depressed or something. But in 5 years, you will remember the days that you decided to just let your hair down a little bit and have some fun and be a little, not wild and irresponsible, but insouciant, a bit flippant, a bit fun. Not everybody will appreciate it, and you don't need them to. So that's my first point of today. Let's put everything into perspective and have fun doing so. Raise your hand if you'd like 2025 to be the funnest year ever, if that's a word, funnest. Most fun? Okay, good. Good. That's point number one. Okay, next point. A lot of questions came up. Well, like, what's the most effective thing to do? Well, I'm going to tell you this, and I've said it in the past. So many answers to that. So many answers to that. Because I don't know exactly who I'm talking to collectively right now. And for me to give you an exact answer on that, well, that might be a little irresponsible. But I am going to tell you, I'm going to have Michael Bach come and have a few words with you. He's going to take 5, 6, 7 minutes, something like that, cover a little section, and then we're going to talk even more about that. So, Mr. Michael Bach, are you available and at the microphone?
Yes, I am, sir. How are you, Dan? I was smiling.
Yes.
My dog is looking at me like, "Why are you laughing, Dad? Are we about to go out?" And I said, "No, my friend, we are not about to go out." Hey, everyone, how's everyone doing this morning? So great to see you. Dan usually gives me an intro, and he usually uses the word old, or he's known me for a long time. For those who do not know me, my name is Michael Bach. I'm the growth specialist here at Blumberg Digital. I am the guy you come to with those specific questions. So I want you to know that I'm always here for you to call, text, email. Michael, I don't know what's going on. I'm the guy. And Dan has put me in this position because of a long-standing relationship. But anyway, today I want to cover, a doctor just said something about they don't want it, right? So I'm going to cover this very basic principle of marketing, which is want versus need. And it's sort of an introduction to the next thing Dan's going to talk to you guys about. So I am a child of the 20th century, which means I was a kid in the 60s. Now, when I sat down to have a meal, what I wanted was ice cream. And my mom would say to me, "If you want ice cream, Michael, you need to eat your protein, your chicken," which was a very common meal in my house. So this difference between want and need is a marketing basic. So want is passion. Everyone get that? I want everyone in the chat, what's your passion? You know, are you a gardener? Just put it in there. I want to see some passions in the chat. Baking, ceramics, great. Keep going. Working out, unbelievable. Fantasy football, love it. Photography, wow. You see, these are passions, right? Keep coming. Cooking, another cooking one. Art, gardening, right? Now, how many of you with your passion would identify yourself with that passion? I am a chef. I am a cook. I am a golfer. In my case, I am a musician. These are driven internally, right? Okay, good. So that's want equals passion. Need equals necessity. Give me some things you need to do in your life that are different than your passion. Make money. Okay, good. Make money. Pay the bills. Perfect. Eat, sleep. Hi. Do you guys see the difference? Need versus want, right? So examples, you're given a lot of them. Hobbies, right? We've listed a lot of hobbies. Now, needs are driven normally by external issues like, Mom, you got to eat your vegetables, right? That's a need versus a want. So if we move forward in this concept, right, we come to the point of examples of these things, and you guys are giving lots of examples. Where does going to the dentist fit in? Is that a want or a need? Put it in the chat. Getting your next checkup. Do you want to do it? Right. It's a need. Does that make sense to everybody as opposed to a want? No one here in their passion put getting my teeth cleaned, right? Because that's not a passion or a want, it's a need or something you have to do. So when we as a company talk to you about follow-up and the need for marketing, we understand that dental services like yours are a need, not a want, right? And this is incredibly pertinent to when you talk about how to market to people. So let's just give an example. So one of our gardeners, if there's a local gardening show in your area and you see a billboard, the local home and garden show, how easy is it to get you there? That may be all it takes, right? Just a simple sign, text. Those who are golfers, your buddy calls you, hey, I got an opening in my foursome, do you want to go? That's all it takes, because the drive here is internal. It's driven by passion, right? So wants are easier to market than needs. One of my clients in a previous life was Taylor Guitars, right? I will tell you, it doesn't take much to get somebody to buy a guitar. You just have to show it to them. And in fact, they will walk into a store and buy it by themselves. Just let them know it's there, make it great at a price they can afford, and they will buy it, right? Now, you guys already know, how many of you would put selling a treatment plan in the same category as selling someone a guitar? Is it easier or harder? Throw it in the chat. Is it harder to sell a guitar or a bunch of crowns and a bridge and a full mouth rehabilitation? Exactly. It's harder because we're in the category of need versus want. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Dan in a minute. He's going to tell you about the follow-up strategy, but let's just talk about an internal follow-up strategy, right? And I'm going to give you a very interesting example. We did a lot of survey research for Taylor Guitars, and we had to get people to respond to surveys, right? Do you know, of the list we received from the guitar company, over 90% of them with one phone call did the survey. And in fact, the best story, there was a plastic surgeon, actually a thoracic surgeon, he was in surgery. His assistant said, oh, you're calling about the guitar? Oh, unfortunately, doctor's in surgery. He got out of surgery 6 hours later and called the office to participate. That's a want, right? So when you're talking about wants, it's very easy. 1 or 2 touch points, simple reminder. When you're talking about needs, now what do we need? Multiple touch points, consistent touch points, and turning that need into getting them into practice. And now Dan is going to go through the Blumberg Digital concept of how you convert the need into someone in your practice. Okay, Dan, back to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Michael. Thumbs up if you found Michael's correlation and examples helpful. Thumbs up if you found that helpful. Me too. And I think it really makes it apparent what our challenge is in what we do. Not that you didn't know that. Of course you knew that. You knew that. But I think it just makes it very apparent the choices that our patients have when it comes to dentistry and the other things that are pressing, and what other needs would probably even be viewed by them as more pressing. A leaking roof, a noisy transmission, whatever. I mean, these things may take far, far senior precedence in their life because of apparent need. So I'm bringing this up, and this is all part of analysis. I had a phone call where I worked with an office, and not just a client, but a very close friend of mine. And we did a mystery call, and the mystery call didn't go that well. And this office is like awesome. Doing some of our marketing stuff. And I'm like, okay, good. So that's part of it. But if I take the view of the person who is answering the phone, is that person geared up and ready to understand what Michael just covered? Is that person thinking with this? Because, this person was answering a phone call based off of an ad that we ran, most likely. And so you would think, well, you clicked on the ad, you want a dental appointment, or you have a question about, how much crowns cost in our practice. And no, it didn't go very well. So I thought, okay, again, I'm going to reverse engineer this here the whole way back. And I've spent the last 2 weeks doing that. And to the person who I was working with on that client, that's what I've been doing. Okay, so I did a comparative study. What is being done differently here than there? Because it's kind of the same amount of money is being spent, if not more. This is getting so much traction. This is getting much more traction. So I said, okay, good. Let me take a look at this. And one of the main things I want us all to understand is a concept called quantitative pressure. Quantitative pressure. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is when you get somebody who reaches to you, even if they're like, yeah, I'm just curious, do you guys do those invisible braces? Or, yeah, I filled out a form, I guess online, I can't remember. This is the dentist? Could be that. Could be, hey, so how much does an implant cost, or how do implants work in your practice? Whatever the lead or reach is, that person's only got so much interest. What do we do then? And what you think you do then, I can almost guarantee is woefully insufficient to what needs to be done. So I want our collective estimation of effort in place for 2025. We want to get the results. We want to get these patients in. I'm going to dial this in just so you can think with it. I'll be the patient. Yeah, I'm thinking about this. I fill out a form. I select this, or I reply to that, or maybe I did call in. And then what happens when I hang up the phone? What happens after I come to your practice and I'm thinking about it? What happens? What other things are hitting my plate? What other expenses? What other concerns am I having? What am I now thinking about that monthly payment of that treatment plan? I want you to really understand that. And quantitative pressure is you coming in again and bringing that person to interest. For those of you who've done the ABC communication and sales seminars, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the scale of selling. Person comes to you generally in unknown. They are unaware of what they need. They find out. They go in into immediate inhibit. No. Can't we just pull it? Can't we just do this? Isn't there a cheaper solution? Inhibit. At some point, we continue to stay at interest and they move up. What is the next rung on that scale? Put it in the chat. What's the next rung up? We have unknown, inhibit. What's next? Enforce. They go into enforce. You will see visible force. Hey, listen, all this pressure, the sales stuff, all these tactics you're using to like scare tactics. Like, I just need you to understand, I hear you loud and clear. Okay? Like, enough. I get it. You guys probably need to pay some bills, or you're trying to make bonus or something. How many of you just got a couple butterflies in your stomach right there? Just right there. Just put your hands up. If you imagine being in that spot, you'd be like, ooh, what's our instinct? What's our instinct at that point in time, folks? What's our instinct? Back off, pull away. Yep. Guess what? You just 100% undermined that person's potential progress up to interest. You 100% just undermined it. Because what you'd been doing is you stayed interested. They went from unknown to inhibit to enforce. And now you see force. And then you back out. What do you need to do in that moment? What do you need to do? Put it in the chat. Look at what everybody's saying. And it's so interesting, the ones that are saying it. Yeah, stand firm, stay at interest, remain interested. The people who are saying this are the people who've been through this, and not even that we do it all the time, but you got to stay at interest. Listen, I totally get it. And I'm sorry if this comes across as high pressure sales. It's not about that. It's not about bonus. It's not about paying bills. Of course, we got to charge. It's a business. We got to, pay for the stuff that we have. But this is about you and your health. And if I seem like I'm getting emphatic about it, it's because I know what can happen if we don't address this now. I know what can happen. And I'm just going to give you a couple examples. Tell a story. Stay at interest. That person is going to come through in force. It'll be slow or it'll be fast. It'll be painless or it'll be painful, but they will come through if you stay at interest. And where will they go next? Everybody who's so clued in here and so well educated, where do they go next? Desire. That's right. They'll go into desire. Now, are they done? They are not done. They are not done at all. They start asking questions. Well, okay, well, say we did do this. What would be the monthly payment? I mean, just say we did, but just like they'll start asking questions. So how does the procedure go? Whether it's in the practice or on the phone. So, okay, because so what days are you open then? They start asking questions. Are they done? Yes. Is this the time? Are they closed or are they not yet closed? Thumbs down. Are they done? Thumbs up. Or are they closed? Thumbs down. I need to see everybody's thumb. Right, Amy, right, Kathleen, right, Sharon, right, Janelle, right? They are not closed. You think, whoa, they're asking questions. I better jump on this. Yeah, you better stay at interest. Totally. You answer all their questions. And this is why we do. And here's the same person who had kind of a similar scene as you. This is what their after photo looks. This is before. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this person was also, it's funny, they also had a cruise that they were going on. They decided not to go forward. Tooth broke. They were on the cruise, ended up in isolation because they had a fever as a result of the infection. 2 days in isolation before they could get to dock. And then they had to find an emergency dentist in some foreign land. Horrible trip. Would hate that to happen on yours. Interest. Pretty soon, person goes. Now, what does that mean from a marketing perspective? That's what we're talking about from sales. And I'm not trying to take away what you do with MGE. I'm not trying to be MG. I can't help myself sometimes. But what does that mean from a marketing perspective? That means hit them with so many messages. That means routine text. That means routine emails. That means routine phone calls. That means shake the cage until one of two things happen. One of two things will happen. I'm coming in, or what? Put it in the chat. I'm coming in, or get very mad. Just leave me alone. Click. Stop calling me. Click. You're blocked. Click. Good. Guess what? You've done your job. You couldn't have tried harder. What we often think, however, is we get a couple times that we push and somebody squeaks, somebody screams, somebody might even flap it to your owner, get you in trouble a little bit. You know what that owner should do? Come to you, give you a pat on the shoulder, give you a $25 gift card for trying so hard. That's what they should do. I want you to understand quantitative pressure. Now, Kathleen, would you mind activating your microphone, please? Hi, Kathleen. So Kathleen, I told you I was going to call on you. Didn't tell you what it was about.
Yes.
But as you well know, we were running your marketing implant funnel.
Yes.
And I did a comparative study of one compared to another. Your funnel went flat two months ago or 3 months ago or whatever. Do you remember that?
Oh, I definitely remember that.
Yeah, you definitely remember. Went flat. It was a combination of things. There was a law change in New York and that threw things, and you couldn't do credit applications in the office the way you were doing it. We've since figured that out. But there were a number of other things. So we're doing your dental implant funnel right now. What would you say that you brought in the last month, say, just from treatment through the Blumberg Digital implant?
We close at least 3 to 4 cases.
Yeah, it's been probably between everything, between like 150, 200,000, somewhere around there. Because some haven't been implants, some have been, had some crowns and stuff closed from there too. It's definitely turned around. We had we had a couple closes last week and one this week.
And 3 on tomorrow.
We have 3 set up for tomorrow.
Okay, good. When people hear those numbers, they go, okay, great. You know, Dan's calling on Kathleen again. Okay, I want to give the real picture. I asked you last week, you guys had a close. It was actually the day before the exec seminar.
Yes.
You had one close, but how many consults did you do that day?
So I had one close day.
I'll remind you.
Executive seminar. Yeah, if you want to remind me, I'm pulling it up.
It was the day before the executive seminar. You had one close and you had 6 consults that day.
Yes. Yep. And to make matters fun, I had 6 employees out with the flu.
Yep.
Including Beth.
Yep.
My right hand.
Yeah. Dr. Rich was doing procedures unassisted even.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, I was in the
minor
consult.
ones.
He was doing surgery.
So listen, stuff happens. But I want everybody to understand, these are 6 consults. These were not 6 leads. Correct, Kathleen?
Correct.
So in order to get 6 consults on the schedule, how many leads do you think you had to go through?
I know for a fact that Beth spends a huge portion of the day on the phone. So in order to get those 6 consults, she probably called 30 people.
Okay. Good. And those 30 people are well-qualified people that came through an implant funnel who have expressed, this is just like a Google lead. Like, send me some info. This is somebody who's gone through an exact survey on an implant funnel.
Mhm.
So what I want you to do, Kathleen, is I want you and Beth. Beth, are you in the room too?
I am.
Come on over.
Okay. Okay, good. I want you guys to please because everybody thinks, oh, well, it just must be, must just be, Salvatore and this and that, and it must be a great area. I want you to give a little bit of the painful picture behind the scenes of the follow-up and the amount of quantitative pressure you put on these people to get them into and for consults. And then what do you do to follow up when they say no or think about it? I got to talk to my spouse, please.
So a lot goes into the follow-up. I mean, Beth was called a not so nice word just the other day. Sometimes we get great nicknames like that, but I mean, we're calling these patients constantly. We get pushback and they're like, stop calling me. I will call you when I'm ready. Then we call them the next day and we just keep following up because we know that when we hit that wall, they're most likely going to get in if you want to, because you do a lot of the leads.
Yeah, and that even with just follow-up in general, it takes a lot to get someone to come in the door, but just don't give up.
Yeah, and you have to. Oh, go ahead.
I will call, text, send an email.
That's what I was going to say.
Everything.
Don't rely on one method. If you call them and they don't answer, then immediately send a text. Hey, I just left you a voicemail. Or, if their voicemail box is full, we'll literally text, hey, don't know if you know this, but your voicemail box is full and we're trying to get in touch with you. And then if that doesn't work, we send an email and we count that as one follow-up. But don't rely on one method because then you're just setting yourself up for failure. You have to hit every method possible and just stay on top of it.
Good. So everybody start putting your questions in the chat. I'm going to moderate it. I'm going to stop asking questions. I want you all to ask questions. This is your time. I'm going to shut the hell up. You're all saying, thank God. So put your questions in the chat. I'm going to moderate it. Can they share a script? So I can share a script, but I want to know specifically what script are you interested in, Gloria? So please put that in there. And then she says, how do you get these patients in? So Gloria, thumbs up if you want me to role play it. I'll be the recalcitrant patient. Okay, good. Who's taking lead? Look at they're like swallowing. I see that. I see like, uh-oh. Okay.
It depends.
Okay, good.
Are you role playing as an implant lead, like incoming?
I'm an incoming implant lead.
That's Betty.
Betty, you're calling me because I just pressed the form.
Okay.
I clicked the form, right?
Right,
yeah. Hello, this is Dan.
Hi, Dan. This is Beth calling from Salvatore Dental. I was just reaching out. I saw you filled out our form online. You had a couple missing teeth, and you.
Sorry, Kathleen. It's somehow muted.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry, my phone cut out.
No problem. I was just reaching out. I saw here you filled out our form on our online and you maybe were interested in dental implants. So I wanted to reach out and see kind of what was going on.
And you're from where?
Salvatore Dental.
Oh, right. The you guys had that thing about teeth and so, yeah. That's right. Sorry. It's just I'm just got a lot going on.
Yeah.
So yes, that's me.
All right.
How can I help you?
Well, tell me a little bit about what is going on with your oral health.
I'm missing some teeth. I don't know. I kind of got inspired by some of the stuff I saw on that whole like little mini website that you guys have. And, it's been an issue for a while. So yeah.
Any sort of pain?
When I chew, I think it might just be used to it. I don't even know what not being in pain is like, I think anymore. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see here you put on your survey that you are kind of having to modify the foods that you're eating currently.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you been missing those teeth for?
Well, 1 3 years ago, 1 5 years ago,
Okay.
1 7 years ago. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm not destined to have teeth. I don't know. So I'm like, my friends don't have this problem. I just seem to keep losing them. Like I've been exposed to radiation or something. I don't know.
Okay. Well, have you seen another office in regards to dental implants or any sort of dental work?
I did. I saw my dentist. He said he didn't do that kind of work, but he knew somebody. I haven't had much luck with dentists, imagine that. And not that they did anything wrong. I mean, I haven't had much luck with my smile and my teeth and stuff. So, when he said I have to go to see somebody else and he said they are expensive and brace yourself. And I think he even set up an appointment and stuff. And I just called them and I said, probably not the time.
Yeah, understand. Well, I mean, you filled out our survey online, so we are offering you an initial free consultation appointment and a free 3D scan. So we can bring you into the office. You can meet our team, meet Dr. Rich, and we'll be able to work up a treatment plan for you and even give you an exact breakdown of cost for your treatment.
Okay. Like, I just want to make sure, like, I don't get any surprises like, oh, you're not going forward with treatment, so you're actually liable for this. I didn't read all the fine print. I literally just responded to it on my phone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no
hooks, right?
Nothing hidden. It is completely complimentary.
Okay. Yeah. And, also so that I'm not wasting your time, because I am considerate. I appreciate you reaching out, and you sound like a nice person. I was inspired in the moment. I just don't know how I would handle things financially. I just want to be frank. I'm not driving a Porsche. I'm not even driving a, newer model car. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, we understand that, dental implants, they are an investment. It is an investment in your health. So we actually have a lot of different financing lenders that we work with. That way we can kind of find a monthly payment that's suitable for you and fits in with your budget.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay.
And
what's that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious, like, what kind of schedule are you looking at, and how long should I plan on it?
Yeah, the appointment, it's about an hour, and I do highly recommend coming in sooner rather than later. That way we can really nail down exactly what you need and get it started as soon as possible. So I can get you tomorrow.
Okay.
1 o'clock.
Okay, good. It's my wife who's been on my case about this.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the one who actually saw it on my phone. She's peeping over my shoulder. I think she was worried about what I was checking out, because I was like, wow. And anyhow, she goes, you should go there. You should get that out.
Yeah.
So I could at least tell her that I've set this up,
Yeah. And if she wants to come in with you, more the merrier. We'd love to have her. And if she has any questions, she can ask those as well.
Yeah, she's kind of like the driving force, around my health. I hate to say that. I'm just, I gotta keep, I gotta keep the house running and the cars running and stuff like that. But she tries to keep me running. So
yeah. So then let's bring her in as well. So we can find a time that works best for both of you.
Okay. Well, I'll have to check with her, because I could come in tomorrow, but I don't know what her schedule is. So maybe I can just call you back.
Well, we'll definitely want to get you scheduled. I mean, can she come in early morning? Is that maybe like before work or after work? We can do like a later.
Generally, she's, we're both kind of, we're flexible because we run our own business and stuff like that. I just need to talk to her first.
Oh, can I call you back later this afternoon if I don't hear from you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's, she should be, they're all in their, book club right now. I'd feel weird walking in on the ladies and stuff like that, talk about my dental appointment, but, yeah, they'll probably be done about a half an hour.
Okay. So I'll call you in about a half an hour, and we'll reconnect and get you on the schedule as soon as possible.
Okay, good. Sounds good. Good. How did Beth do, everybody? Thumbs up, medium, or down? Yeah, good. Kathleen, anything you'd want to add or say?
I think that was good. The only thing I would say too is sometimes we do push a little bit, like, oh, well, I know she's in a book club. We just see if you can borrow for 1 minute. But I think that's good. And Beth is good about putting notes on the schedule, like exactly when she has to call people back. So it works well.
I would say the same. That would be Beth. That was great, as usual. I'm giving a very dry guy here, and I'm pushing back. I tried to be a little bit cranky. Did you all see that? Thumbs up if you saw it being a little bit cranky, a bit crusty, right? But we are here to invade people's privacy and invade their space, not be rude, not be obnoxious, but impinge on them and bring pressure. Pressure begets motion. Pressure begets motion. You have to be okay on applying pressure. Thumbs up if you are okay on applying pressure. I need to see it. Thumbs up if you are okay on applying pressure. Yeah, good. So a couple other questions came in. Is it okay to still book the consult and say the prices can be discussed after we see the needs to avoid them fishing?
Yeah. So
you got that question, guys? What do you think?
Yeah. How we handle that is sometimes people are very adamant about pricing. So we have sat down with Dr. Rich and we've established like a range. So if they're missing a couple implants, or missing a couple teeth, they're looking at like 1 or 2 implants, or if they're looking at a full arch, we never give exact pricing. We say, hey, it could be in this range. However, the best thing to do is to get you in for a CT because Dr. Rich is going to be the best person to determine that. Unfortunately, I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose you over the phone, but we do know a good doctor. So let's get you in, an exam with Dr. Rich, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, beautiful. And if they absolutely slam their hand on the desk saying, listen, I need to know, I don't want to be jostled around, just please give me a range, what would you say?
Then, at that point, we do have an agreed upon range with Dr. Rich that we can discuss. But if it comes down to like exact numbers, then we just kind of keep it light and tie it back. Like, oh, unfortunately, I didn't go to dental school, but hey, it's a free consultation, no commitment. But I wish I went to dental school, but I know one, so come on in. Usually, we only run into specific numbers when it comes to like individual implants. I feel like people are pretty aware of ranges when it comes to fixed arches. Mm-hmm.
Great. Another question that came in is, what if they heard a price from another dental office and they just want to know the difference?
We run into the issue too, where if they hear something from another office and it could be mini implants, we don't do mini implants in our office. So we still get them in.
Yeah, I tried to ask them a lot of questions too, just about like, oh, well, what did they tell you? Like, what do you know? Just so I can kind of gauge more, but then I'll always refer back to a free consult.
I don't know about other offices on here, but we have offices around us that undercut our pricing, but they don't do the finals. So you still have to, so people are like, oh, they're cheaper, but they don't realize that that doesn't include the finals. They have to find another provider for that.
Yep.
So just
beautiful.
asking a lot of
questions. Yeah, good. And then somebody says, can you give us examples in dealing with the nasties? Watch this. I just don't understand you guys. You do these ads and it's like a bait and switch. I just don't understand. Like, it's a free consult, but then you're probably going to hit me up for a bunch of money and stuff. It just feels like a scam.
Well, I can assure you it's not a scam. It's really frustrating to me that so many people have had that experience because we don't want that to be your experience with dentists. So if you come in here, I promise you it'll be different. I'm so sorry that you've had those experiences in the past. That's extremely frustrating. But when you come in, I'll personally meet with you. My name's Kathleen. I'm one of the office managers. I will talk with you, sit down and go through everything with you. And I'm really sorry that you've had that experience, but let's change that.
Good. And then if it goes, oh, okay, great. Listen, I'm sorry to have blown up on you. It's just, I've had some frustrations. Then she would schedule. If it's like this, oh, hey, you're really smooth talking there. Quite a slick tongue. So you're the salesperson there? Now what? Well,
I'm the one that would sit down and talk treatment with you. So try and be as upfront as possible. But we really want to help you.
Hey, Betty, what do we actually do when we see trouble coming? What do we actually?
Bye.
Betty?
Basically.
Handle it as you do, Betty. Do it.
I usually just kind of say, if you don't want to come here and you don't feel comfortable, then, that's fine. Call us when you're ready. They usually don't call back.
I've listened to their calls and it's kind of like this. Listen, it's totally up to you. And if it feels that way to you, maybe it's probably best that you go look for a place that feels differently for you. And, we just want you to get the help you need.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you are not bringing trouble into the practice. Thumbs up if you all understand that.
Agree.
Good. All right. That's right, Danielle. So yeah, they applied tone scale and they matched tones, and Kathleen matched my tone, got upset about the thing with me. Excellent. Good. Now, unless there's any other questions for Kathleen and Beth, I'm going to tell you this. They're on the implant funnel. I have been working very tightly with them. I'm now going to extend that as far as we've formulated kind of like what is the pattern and such. We're putting together a little bit of a training and video program and stuff. They've been doing the heavy lifting. We've been doing the coaching and directing. So we will have that. So everybody on the implant funnel, that is coming your direction. And it will be at some point complete with full scripts, videos, tutorials, drills, exact sample communications to send out, really with a big thank you to Beth and Kathleen, Dr. Rich Salvatore and Dr. Vera Salvatore. So everybody give them a big hand, both for what they do and for helping you get the implant funnel leads and such. Excellent. Anybody interested in the implant funnel and you want to activate that and see some high ROI, return on investment? Go ahead and reach out to Michael. Michael, drop your contact details, please, in the chat. I'm going to go on to another aspect of things, which ties in with our services, but I want you all to understand the power of this. And I'm just going to loop straight into the implant funnel that Salvatore Dental has done. Hey, Kathleen, do you remember the mini implant videos that we did for Dr. Rich?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Response on that? Have people referred to it? Do you refer to it?
I refer to it when I'm presenting treatment a lot, when people come back with like, oh, this office was like $12,000 cheaper, and I'll play that video in office for them. We have had a couple like Facebook messages and stuff where people were like, I thought I was getting traditional implants. I ended up with mini implants. I'm having a lot of struggles. We've had a couple people come in with mini implants and talk about switching. So there's been a pretty good response on it. Seeing people have the realization in office is pretty like eye-opening, because they sound really good, right? Mini implants are cheaper, they sound great, but when you see the long-term effects and having patients like become aware of that is definitely eye-opening.
Yeah. So here's what we did. The reason we did this is that for those of you doing implants, raise your hands if you've had people say, I'm considering mini implants, or they didn't even know. They said, there's this other implant solution. It's a fraction of the cost. Raise your hand if you've heard it. Okay, the marketing is coming. If you haven't heard it, it's coming, and it's coming hard. They're not even saying mini implants anymore. They're saying all sorts of, what do they say, Kathleen? They've got this like funny, they don't even position it as, they say implants, but they don't say mini implants. I can't remember what that new company is. It's kind of like the Nuvia of mini implants. Have you seen it?
I've seen it, but I forget what they call it. But a lot of our patients have been coming in just saying posts, like, oh, they're going to put these little posts in.
Yeah. So I want you to see, so we did an exact strategy around that. If you do place implants, singles or multiple, I want you to reach out to your Blumberg Digital account manager if you're on the platform and get this script. This is the script on mini implants. Okay. So what Dr. Rich does is he does the script for the platform script. For those of you on the Marketing Gold platform, he does that, and then he asks us to professionally edit. So you're going to see an edited version. But what I want you all to see is this. Look at the views. Look at how many views. 7,500 views viewed 2 months ago. It's big. Now, everybody, whether you place implants or not, I want you to get the idea in mind right now, what services you want more of, and put that in the chat. What services do you want more of in your practice, and put that in. You're saying I want more quality patients. What does that mean? What type of patients for what services? Put it in the chat. Good. Now, whatever services you just came up with in your mind, I want you to be the patient thinking about those services. And they ask a question. Now, what we did on the Marketing Gold platform, folks, this is just so important. I know you've got other marketing companies coming and saying, oh, this marketing company is charging you way too much. We could do way better. They don't rank. It's not about ranking nationally. You are not a national business. Please listen to me when I tell you this. You are not trying to draw people from California if you are in Philadelphia, nor vice versa. You are looking for local search traffic concerning your specific search terms. There are lots of companies that'll say, oh, listen, this is being done the wrong way, and we got all this. Okay, watch carefully. Look very specifically. You're looking to find people who are searching for certain dentistry that you have to offer in your area with a high value traffic for you. This would be whatever the services you just put in there, but also high volume search, meaning a lot of people are asking those questions. We've reverse engineered what questions are being asked in Google, because you can find that out with regards to dentistry, what questions are asked in Google. So we find out, and then we put videos, scripts together, and you just ask your doctor that question, and the doctor answers the question on video. His words, her words, their thoughts, no wrong answers, just free form. The question is very specific. We ask you to repeat the question because that's going to get you found on Google for that search term. Thumbs up if you're tracking, thumbs down if you're a little bit lost. It's very important. I need to see a thumb in the air right now. Thumbs up if you're tracking, thumbs down if you're lost. This is very important. You need to be talking about the things people are searching for on Google. And sooner than you think, on AI, okay? So you need to be there with free-form, non-AI content. Free-form, non-AI content, meaning it is not bottled form content that comes from, it's just form content that's used across a bunch of websites. It's unique, specific to you. So the questions They got to be exact. Your answers, go to town, have fun. I want you to watch this video. I'm not going to play the entire thing, but I want you to watch this video. These are questions asked from Dr. Rich. He's gotten over his initial nervousness. He just talks to the camera like it's a patient, just like he does in an operatory. So watch this carefully from the eyes of a patient.
Today we'll be discussing the differences between mini implants and full implants. A lot of patients want something that's fast and cheap and easy, but I got some news for you. It's not always fast, cheap, and easy. So here we go. What are dental implants and how do they work? So a dental implant is a replacement for a tooth.
So there's the question. What are dental implants and how do they work? He mentioned the question, so now it's going to be
basically a dental implant is a titanium foundation that we can put a single tooth on, or in other situations we can put a bridge, or we can have it be all of your teeth, or it can be even like a denture that snaps on and off. So a dental implant is a way for us to replace teeth that have been missing, that it's a permanent option, unlike something that is removable and comes in and out. We often hear, what is the difference between mini dental implants and full or regular dental implants?
That's the search term. That's the search term. That's what that's what people are searching on Google. Thumbs up if y'all understand that. That question is what people are searching. Great, here we go. Now he's just going to riff. He's just going to riff. He's just going to go whatever comes out of his mouth.
There's quite a big difference. So it's basically in the term. So a mini implant is very, very small compared to a large implant. So a mini implant, the way that I like to tell patients, it's almost like a thumbtack. And the funny way to say this is, and it might be a little bit weird to hear, our bone in our mouth is it's a little bit porous and it's almost like drywall. So if you've ever dealt with drywall, it's hard, but it's not super hard. So you can take a thumbtack and you can stick it in a drywall and it'll stay. So I always tell my patients a mini implant's kind of like a thumbtack, while a regular implant is more like a bigger lag bolt. And if you want to hang a picture that has any kind of heft to it, would you rather use a thumbtack or would you rather use a big, nice lag bolt? It might be a kind of a crazy thing to talk about when we're talking about, implants and placing them in our mouth, but it's a very similar concept. So mini implants are much smaller, they're narrow, there's not as much surface area for the bone to bond to, so they're much less stable than regular implants. And a regular implant.
Do you all see he's just talking like he talks to a patient? Do you all see that? Thumbs up if you see that. It's natural. He stumbles a couple times. A couple times he messed up and we just edited that out. He just redid the sentence, right, Kathleen? Doesn't that happen?
Yes.
And what do you do when that happens, Kathleen? How do you handle that when he stumbles? You're recording. How do you handle it?
Yeah. So what we do is when he stumbles, in Philippe, our video editor, probably has 1,000 copies of Dr. showing, So then he stops and then I'll repeat the question to him. And then he'll be like, okay. And then he tries to pick up where he left off, but I always repeat the question.
Beautiful, beautiful. But it's just free flowing. It's just natural. Keep watching.
It's much larger. There's more stability. There's more options to restore, more options to put different kind of connectors on top of a regular implant. Well, a mini implant only has one connector and really limits the option. The crazy thing is mini implants actually came about to be temporary implants. So first they weren't called mini implants, they're called temporary implants. A long time ago, we would place implants, regular implants in, and the theory back then is that you can't put any weight on the implant. So what we do is we put regular implants in, we would hibernate those, bury those, you don't touch them. And then we take these temporary implants that are now mini implants and we place them in other areas and we put teeth on top of those. And after about 3 months, everything would be healed with your normal implants, and then we'd take out the mini or temporary implants. Some dentists found that some of those temporary implants were kind of difficult to get out, and they had the idea of, hey, maybe we can actually use these because they're kind of stable. They're cheaper, faster, less painful, but ultimately they're not very stable. So that's kind of the differences between mini implants and regular implants. Patients ask, are mini implants a reliable option for tooth replacement?
That's the question on Google. That's the question on Google.
I hate to say this and I hate to break the bad news, but in our practice, they honestly are not a great option. I've personally taken out hundreds of mini implants, and most of the time I can unscrew them with my fingers. So that kind of shows you that they don't really integrate or bond well with the bone. So they're not very reliable. They started off as temporary implants, and that's kind of where my vision stays with them. There are people who do a lot of things that with mini implants that are a little bit outside of the box, but here at Salvatore Dental, we want to do things the right way. We want to make sure that if you're investing in implants, that they're going to be strong and stable, and it's not going to be any kind of temporary or unreliable solution. The question about time and money always comes up. So patients come in, they say, well, why do mini implants cost less than full implants?
That's the question. You guys are seeing the pattern. And at this point, for some of you, you've got a doctor that says, I'm not going to do this. I'm not comfortable with this. I'm not there yet. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Nobody's comfortable with it. Nobody's comfortable with it. You just got to burn through that uncomfortableness. In the interim, you might have an associate. You might even have an office manager. There's a lot more weight with the doctor, but if it truly is an impossibility, find somebody else. But in the office, just talk it through and just talk. And if you want, we'll take it. If you're on the Gold platform, we'll take and we'll do the basic edits. If you want all the like transitions and the punching, zooming in, zooming out, and all the imagery and stuff like that, we can use our video editing team and get it video edited. It's, a couple $100. It's not that big of a deal. But the most important thing is that we capture your message. And then what do we do at Blumberg Digital? We take the entire thing, we get it transcribed, we code it into your Gold platform. Now your Gold platform is ranking on the most searched terms about the services you want more of. And it's all original, authoritative content. So I'm telling you the importance of this. Am I trying to sell you on it? I mean, take it or leave it. I don't care. A lot of you have it. I want you to understand the power of it. I want to take you now through what are some of the other, we've analyzed. A lot of you did the November and end of the year scripts for 2024. Type in the chat, we did, if you guys got that done. Type it in the chat if you guys did those scripts. Yep, done. Yep, good. Keep it going. A lot of you did. Okay, well, guess what? We got the next ones. Now, interesting, if you are still yet to get through your scripts, boy, you got to get through them. I just don't know what to say. You take a look through the pack, take a look online. Steph is here. Raphael is here. Let them know, hey, I want to get going on this. They will help you navigate to your Gold platform and identify, hey, these are the services we want to do. We haven't done that script yet. We checked them off, so we log them. But if you've done the whole pack, here are the next ones. Whitening. We've just done a new whitening script with the new questions about it. There's 409,000 searches monthly on teeth whitening on these terms. So get the new teeth whitening scripts. They're at the top of the queue in the Gold platform. Sedation dentistry, 62,000 searches per month. 62,000 searches per month. Even if you don't do sedation dentistry, you need to talk about it. Even if you don't do sedation dentistry, you need to talk about it. Talk about how it's done. I just need you talking about it. Next ones are both all on 4 and all on 6 implants. Even if you don't do them and you use an outside specialist, totally okay. Absolutely okay. Talk about it. Do the script. You're just going to do it like, okay, good. Our specialist, outside perio, outside oral surgeon, whatever, will do this. Don't refer to them as an outside professional that we're going to refer them to. Just talk about the fact that we use appointed specialists to help on that. And here's how that working. You say whatever you want to say. Answer however you want to answer, but answer the questions and include the questions. Thumbs up, everybody, on that. Thumbs up. Need to make sure you understand that. Excellent. Last thing I'm going to get into on that point. How many of you feel a little bit more inspired to talk about on video the things that people are asking about on Google? Raise your hand. Okay. Some of you give me a little thumb. I'll take a little thumb. That's fine. Little thumbs are okay. Our most successful offices schedule a time every week in the schedule for a social media video, whether it's a TikTok, Insta, whatever, where they have some fun and they do some fun stuff. They pick up trends and stuff like that. Put it in your schedule. 1/2 hour every week. You have a week to prepare for it. Tell the doctors or doctor or owners or whatever, this is what we're doing. Try to get them involved. Have some fun with it. Watch what happens with your crew. They'll love it, right? Block it off. It's a time every week. It happens. Get your social media post done. Testimonials, doctor content, like the scripts, we call that explainer videos, reveal videos when somebody sees their new smile for the first time. So I'm going to take you through some stuff that I think you need to just be reminded of. And I don't know, I think it's going to be a little bit easier than you might think. Here we go. And I will make this presentation available to you if you so choose. Good. So We're going to video everything. We're going to video everything. Testimonials, reveal videos, social media content, and explainer videos. Those are the categories. The explainer videos is the doctor content, okay? So some things you're going to need, and I've even given you the exact equipment, and I'm showing you the price on Amazon. So you're going to need something to hold the phone steady so you don't have to. You're not sitting there jiggling and vibrating and worried and out of frame and stuff like that. If you get this one from Amazon or anything from Amazon, always check the little coupon thing that you have to click. I don't know why they make you click it, but you know me, I'm cheap, right? So I'm telling you, save $2. That brings that down to currently $24. This is a great magnetic mount to put on top of this tripod. So the magnetic mount for an iPhone or any phone that has a magnetic mount, it just snaps on there. It's nice. I've been using them with success, $23. Here's one if you don't have the magnetic part of your phone. You can get one of these. It grabs it. Pretty nice. It's robust, $30. That's what it looks like when you click the coupon. I'm a coupon clipper. Okay, microphone. I will tell you this, audio is so important, everybody. Audio is so important. Whether you do this one, it's the cheap version. It's good, but it's not great. This one is the business right here, but it is expensive. Folks, watch what happens. You all can see me. Watch what happens. Okay, I just want to talk to you about video. Videos is so important. I'm going to be over here because the camera's over here. Okay, videos is so important. When I'm closer to the microphone, it sounds better, but if I get even closer to the microphone, it sounds great. I'm 8 inches away from this microphone right now. Now I'm here and I'm 10 feet away. Hey, how does the microphone sound now? Thumbs up or thumbs down? How's the microphone? How's the audio? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yeah. So as I get closer to this microphone, it's important. Your phone will not necessarily be right up in that person's face. So you're just going to click a little Bluetooth mic, and this is the one I like because it also records the signal on the actual microphone, just in case there's a failure on the receiver. That's the receiver. These two are transmitters. One can be on you, one can be on the person you're recording, and it records it there if you set that setting. So pricey, but worth it. Here's the less pricey version. Doesn't work all the time. Amy and I can tell you, we've recorded lots of videos only to find out scratching, buzzing, or just no audio at all. Good. Lighting. Just make sure you have proper light. Now, left is underexposed, in the middle is correct, right is overexposed. Now, how's my lighting, everybody? Thumbs up or thumbs down? How's my lighting? Okay, good. Watch what happens. How's my lighting now? Okay. Now watch this. Y'all see this? How big is that? Pull this out. I'm going to turn the lights on so you can see what's happening. So now let's pull this floppy thing out. Good. Super portable. Now watch this. Turn off my main lights, my studio lights. So I can have this thing placed overhead. It'd be fine. Probably right about there would be best. And it's magnetic, so it sticks to whatever. I can also make it warm or white or off. Is it perfect? No, but I have $4,000 of lighting in my studio. You don't have room for it. If you saw the size of these lights, you'd go, okay, good. I don't want those. Plus, I'm business to business. You're business to consumer. It doesn't have to be perfect. So that lighting solution is the Ulanzi light. You saw how big it is. It's a great little light. I think it's about $45, $40, something like that. Another solution, if you don't want to use your phone, I've told you guys this little DJI Osmo Pocket, I think it's about $650, but now you're not using a phone. If you are using your phone, everybody, hold it horizontal, not vertical. Everybody show me you holding your phone horizontally, not vertically. Everybody show me on the screen that you're holding it horizontally. Just like that, please. Very important. I can make a horizontally held video vertical for social media. I have a hard time doing the opposite, okay? It's going to be sitting on a tripod. Sometimes people can't look at a camera. So you look at them, they look at you. This is called interview format, and it's absolutely acceptable. Having a side view camera while the person talks and gives their story, they're looking at you, they're a little bit nervous. Raise your hand if you've ever found somebody who's a little bit nervous, looking into a camera. Raise your hand if you've ever seen somebody that they change. Man, they are gone. So you get them talking, you're looking at them, they're looking at you. The camera's out here. It's going to look like this, interview style, looking into the camera. I forgot my name. Good. Take the camera, move it to the side, have the tripod holding the camera to the side. You're talking to them, they're talking to you, and it's just like this. This is what it looks like. Yeah, so I came to ABC Family Dentistry, and I think I talked to you first, and boy, it was such a great, and then I went and saw a doctor. Oh, I didn't feel any pain at all. Totally acceptable. That off-canter view is totally acceptable. It's called interview format. Thumbs up if you understand interview format.
Hey, Dan.
Good. Yes.
Before we end off, we're going to be ending off soon. I just want to remind the folks on the webinar that I'm here if they want to talk about any of the services you've discussed today, right? That implant funnel we discussed, or the gold marketing platform, or any questions. I see lots and lots of questions in the chat, and we have not been able to get to those, right? And we're going to talk to you if you needed any help, people, with anything. You know, how's my website doing that I have? I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on with my Google ads. Give me a call. I need help on getting my follow-ups not good enough. I am here. That's my position. Dan is the goal maker for our company. I'm the guy who is here to answer your nuts and bolts questions about it. And I'm the guy who you're going to tell Dan he talks too much. And Dan will pat me on the back because that's what he does, because we understand how to do it here. But I am available for anyone on the call, any doctor, any staff member. I'm going to throw my stuff in the chat again. You just reach out for me anytime. And I just wanted to say that little last message there for you, Dan.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm almost done here. I got the last little bit. Okay, good. Framing. I don't want you to, if you're doing selfie videos, totally cool. But I want the camera level with your eyes, not down like in your lap. That produces what's called under chin, not flattering, adds a few years. Position the phone at arm's length, away from the face minimally, and level with the eyes. Ideally, you want to blur the background. If you take a look at Salvatore Dental and many of our clients, they use one of two phone settings. For iOS, it's called cinematic. For Android, it's called portrait video. So I have those instructions. If you want this presentation, you're welcome to click that link. And oh, she's got a QR code. Look at her. Britt, you're amazing. Thank you for that. Scan that QR code. You'll get that equipment list with all those links and a quick little tutorial. That is the webinar for today. And that's the first one of the year. And I didn't get to half the stuff I wanted to talk about because I just rambled on. But if it was valuable, thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up. Give me your feedback in the chat too. I'd love to know both what you got out of this and what wasn't answered that you'd like help with. That can both help us with the next webinar, as well as make sure that if you've got an immediate question, we can get back to you. So we will absolutely keep the Zoom open and we will go through the questions. We will not shut the Zoom down until we go through all the questions and we have all those. So that's it. I think you were clutched in. Well, I hope that's a good thing. Did somebody define it? All right. I don't know what that is. Great, guys. Well, you've been a pleasure being here. I must say that you're just such a fun group. I love seeing all my friends. You guys are my friends. And it's been a blast. If there's anything you need help with, I just want you to know we're here for you. If you have questions, if you're an existing client and we could better service you, we're going to be doing a survey here very, very soon. And we're also going to be offering you a survey, all of our clients, to do a survey so that we can better design your website, better design your ads and stuff, and update what's important to your patients. If you would like that survey, all clients are going to get it for free. We're going to set it up for you. So you just send out a link to your patients. If you would like that, I want you to reach out to Michael. Michael, just so you know, started survey.com. Yes, survey.com, the major company. So he started that company. That was in between playing bass on stage with Tina Turner and many other celebrities. This is who this guy is. So, you know, he's basically, he doesn't need to work. He's just kind of having some fun working with us together, but he's the real deal. But reach out to Michael if you want that survey, and we're going to put that into implementation. And thank you very much. You guys have been a blast. We'll see you on the next webinar.